Hi there. Let's see now. Well, Joy, I can see myself, but I can't see or hear you. Now I can see you, but I can't hear you. Let me see why not. Is there a volume problem here? Let's see. Okay, I just played a test sound and I can hear that, but I can't hear you. Maybe you need to connect before I can hear you. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? You can hear me. But I can't hear you, but I heard the test sound. So I'm wondering, let me see if I can't troubleshoot what's going on here. Camera, standard audio settings, default. We're not live? Oh, we are live. Okay, great. It's a good thing I can read a little bit of lips because, but I can't hear your voice, so that makes it rather interesting. I can't hear you. I can hear the test tone, so I troubleshoot it by playing the play test sound, and I can hear that, but I cannot hear you for some reason. I could try playing another sound. Let me play something else and see if it's, so I can make sure it's not that my speakers aren't working. But the test sound should show me that. See now. We got a bear here. Poor thing. Yeah, no, my speakers are working, but I can't hear you for some reason. I wonder if your audio is being broadcast, because if I can't hear you, I wonder if other people can't hear you as well. Is there anybody on this live stream? Can they confirm if they can hear you? It's been just a crazy evening of tech things, right? First, no internet. And then I was sitting in my backyard kind of bemoaning the fact that I can't do anything because I have no internet. And then all of a sudden your message came through and I said, wait a minute, I must have internet now. So I went running inside. But is there audio coming? I can see that we're broadcasting, but I'm just wondering if there's actually audio, if people can hear you, because I can't hear you. They can hear you? Yeah, okay. Um, I don't, my computer sound is working, but for some reason I can't hear you. Everything else I can hear on the computer, but you. No, there's no sound. Well, let me see if I can hear you if I look through Facebook. Um, let's see if I can't. Hmm. Go out and come back in. Got it. Okay, hang on 1 second. I'll do that. That's a great idea. Okay. All right. Bye-bye. And default. Okay. Looks like everything's working.
Can you hear me?
Oh my gosh, I can hear you. Oh,
This is
I don't know what Mercury is up to these days, but I think we're. What's that?
Let's start over. First off, Mercury's retrograde, and I love astrology. That's something that sometimes people don't know about me. But Barbara, you're a trooper. These are the women that I connect with. Those women who never say die and they just continue onward. And we have one here. Now, I gave you a long story about Barbara not being able to come in, but she just kept plugging on, and here she is. So I want to talk tonight with her about the 3 biggest myths you don't want to believe and the secrets to effortlessly getting the crowd and the group and the tribe that you want. So Barbara, say hello and welcome to the audience.
Hi. Thank you for hanging in there, audience. If I'm a trooper, I don't know what that makes you guys, but super troopers, I think.
Listen, everybody knows by now, majority of people come for the replay, but we just want to keep plugging onward. That's how you go. But tell me how you got started with the work that you're doing and why you love the work that you're doing so much, because I know pretty much what you're doing. And there are probably a lot of people who will come and know, but there will be those who don't. So tell us the work that you're doing and why you love it so much.
Great. So my specialty, Joy, and everybody else listening, my passion is to help change makers attract clients online. So what is a change maker? To me, they're typically coaches, but sometimes they don't identify with that term. They might be healers or consultants or practitioners. But here's the thing that they all share in common. They want to very specifically make an impact, and they want to do it on their own terms, and they want to use the internet to market themselves or attract clients online. So that has been my decade-long mission, is to help connect those people with their tribe so that I can make a massive impact through them, right? Because if I can help connect you with your tribe, then you will help awaken them, raise the consciousness of the earth. And I can say that I indirectly did that myself.
I love that, Barbara. And this is one of the reasons I connect with women like you. And this show is only for women only, even though men come, because I adore and you adore men. We do. But I'm all about empowering and raising up women to step into their innate power. And one of the things that I loved about what you're doing is that, and what you said, I think it was Ziegler who said, you empower, help others to get what they want. They'll in turn help you. You know how that goes. And that's what I saw and was aware of that was in you. And that's why I love the work that you're doing. Now, what are some of the myths that we all have that we have to get rid of if we want to move forward?
Yeah, great question. And I'll tell you, if I could just tell you just a tiny bit of my story about,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
because it leads right into it. So I've actually been an entrepreneur myself for going on 30 years.
Hmm.
And I've had several businesses across several different industries. I've always been successful. It kind of caught me off guard. I'm kind of like a hippie chick, and it kind of like surprised me that I just seem to be really good at business and marketing, because I didn't, I always thought of myself as artsy, but that just was my God-given talent. So about 6 years ago, I decided that I wanted to use that talent to help change makers, as I said before, to attract clients online. So, of
Hmm.
course, I needed to start by doing that myself. And I thought, gosh almighty, how hard could this be? Right? It's pretty easy. I've got this computer. I can reach anybody around the globe with a keystroke. I know business. I know marketing. How hard could this be? Side note, don't ever ask the universe how hard something can be unless you really want to know the answer. So I struggled, like so many of my clients and so many of the people in my community, for about 2 years. I spent tens of thousands of dollars on programs and coaches and one shiny object to the other. And of course, as the universe works, that is typically where my clients are too. So it is, it can be not as easy as it looks to attract clients online, to gain visibility and get those clients online. So what I wanted to do is tell you the three biggest myths, right, that I ran into. So each and every one of these I've experienced myself.
I want to hear those, Barbara, and I tell you why. Because the way, and thank you for that little insight into you. Because most of us, myself included, who start and want to work online for whatever the reasons are and want to build a business, I think we've all gone through, and maybe some of us are still going through what you just described. You spend the tons of money because you know that you have something valuable that you want to share. And so you just don't give up, you continue on. But what you discover in that process, and when you get ready to present and have a business, you want to make sure that the people that who come to you don't suffer that. That's why I'm interested in hearing what those myths are all about for you. Yes.
Yes, mistakes, whatever you want to do. We
Yes.
all we all
Yes.
make them, right? So the first one is what I call the build it and they will come. So,
Yes. Mm.
right? So we go into this, my clients, the people I serve, they have a modality, they've arrived at the place where they want to now share their experience and expertise with the world. And so they think, well, of course, and it's common sense. It's just, it makes total sense that you need to create a thing before you sell it. So what we do, we go and we pour our heart and soul and everything, all our experience and love, into some kind of an online course or a program or just something, that thing that we're going to exchange for money,
Yes.
right? And then we go online with it. We post on Facebook. We make a YouTube video about it. Whatever. And typically what happens is what I like to call crickets. Nothing. And
I
so
like-
we think, wow, so the problem is my thing isn't good enough. So we go back to the drawing board and we revise our thing, and this thing could be our website. It could be, and same thing. It could be anything that's going to get that we think is what we need to present to the world. And we go back to the drawing board and we try to make it better and better and better, more crickets. So then some people come to the conclusion that, well, this isn't the thing I need to create. I need to create something else. And now
uh-huh.
this is what I call the cycle of burnout. So
Ah,
I've been there. So many people. because the truth of the matter is that build it and they will come only worked in that movie, but it doesn't work anywhere else.
So is the number 2 burnout? Is that what's the number 2 myth?
Well, it's the cycle of burnout. The fact that the myth that if you just have to create something that's amazing enough, people will find you. And that unfortunately is just not the case. Right. So no matter how amazing that your thing is, and trust me, anybody that's watching this, if you've created that thing, it is perfect, it's beautiful, it's wonderful, right? But that's the thing. Creating the thing is just the first step. The next step is really getting it in front of people. And that's the attracting clients online, which is a whole different thing. Some people call it marketing.
Attracting people, you tag it /marketing. Is that the number 2 mistake that people make? They don't know how.
No, that's still number 1. So build it and they will come, no matter how amazing your thing is. It alone is not going to attract clients. So you have to do something else to attract clients. So then that brings us to the number 2 mistake. So we finally go, okay, so what I need to do is marketing, right? And the gurus tell us we have to produce content, videos, podcasts, blog articles, on and on and on and on. And they tell us, the more the merrier, Barb. You just got to keep producing more and more and more content and content. Well, this is what I call, this is really based on an old paradigm of business. So this concept, and it's like the door-to-door salesman type paradigm. In the door-to-door salesman paradigm, the more doors you knock on, if you want to make more sales, whether you're selling a Encyclopedia Britannica or a knife set or whatever, if you just knock on enough doors, you'll eventually get somebody to say yes.
That's so old school, isn't it, Barbara? So old.
That's old school. That's old school. But what we're doing when we tell people that you just need to produce more content, eventually the sales will come, we're basically applying that old school door-to-door salesman mentality to the internet. Because here's the problem, Joy. When you go into a neighborhood in a door-to-door sales, you're canvassing one neighborhood, okay? When you log into the internet and start putting out content, it's like a vast ocean of messages, the vast ocean of messages, and your messages are they're like a bucket of messages, right? And if you produce more and more and more content, you're just making a bigger bucket, but it's still just a bucket, and you're emptying it into the ocean, and it's just going to make a tiny splash because you're trying to speak to a vast, vast ocean.
Listen, I get it, and I'm sure that many in the audience get it too. I want to hear number 3 because I want to hear how you focus as succinctly as you can to rectify those 3 mistakes. What will be the third one?
So the third one, so then we say, okay, here's the problem then. The words that I'm using to describe what I do are not compelling enough. I haven't chosen the right title for myself. I'm not able to convey the power of my services. So I'm go chasing after elevator pitch formula after elevator. I rewrite and write and rewrite and try to come up with a better, more compelling way to
love this.
I do.
I love this, Barbara. You know why? Because I have been told recently, and I get it, when you are using your words, not your words, you got to use the words that your prospective client wants to hear, needs to hear.
Yes.
It's about how you convey to them what they know, but they need to hear resounding in their ear, not the way you would verbalize it. Is that some truth for that, to what you're talking about when you talk about words?
100%. So it's really, and I'll go even a little bit more detailed on that.
Yeah.
To get somebody's attention in this vast ocean of internet, you want to hear what your ideal clients The
Ah,
it's basically the problems that they're trying to solve. That's what's
uh-huh.
gonna get their attention, right? If you want to know how to grow microgreens, for example, or, if you don't know how to, uh, get your Facebook Live to work or something, right? You're trying to find so when we're as potential clients online, we're all tuned into WIIFM. Are you familiar with that radio station?
Yes, I just got that.
What's
Oh,
in it for me, right? That's the station we're all tuned in for. So as wonderful and amazing as what you do for the world is, it's largely not of interest to your ideal clients.
yes.
What is of interest is some problem that they're trying to solve. So, for example, Joy, I'll just use you as an example. I know you're an amazing stylist, among many other things, and style consultant.
Barbara, this is a great segue for me. I want you to hold it for just a second. I want to share something with the audience and I'll be right back. And I know where you're going and I want to go there with you. I just want to say to you, couldn't have a better segue. I'd like to extend an invitation to you. If you're out there now or if you're coming for the replay, I'd love for you to join my group, Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. There's so much in the hopper for you. My work is with women who are in the second act, regardless of age, who want to amp up their wow factor, who are struggling with dressing themselves and they're never really satisfied and they're spending way too much money. And I don't buy into, and neither do you, that they don't care and they don't know and it doesn't matter, because it does. So please get into my Leading Ladies Facebook group. And from there, much more to come. And also, if you've not received my free booklet, How to Discover Your Signature Style and Stamp, pop in the word style, and that will be delivered to you automatically, whether you're here now or you come later. And now we're going to go back to Barbara because I know what she's going to say, and I want to hear it. So, Barbara, tell us what you're going to share with us.
Fabulous, fabulous. That's great, Joy. You're doing such a wonderful service to the world. So, what you want to do, you want to find what I call your magnetic topics.
Ah,
There are topics that you speak about that are what will get your ideal clients interested, to learn more about you. So I'm just going to totally make this up because I don't know
sure.
who your ideal clients are.
Mhm.
But let's just say that your ideal client struggles with confidence and perhaps, and she's going, geez, I would really love to speak on stage, but I just feel kind of homely and dumpy, and nobody's really going to want to see me on stage. It would feel really off, and so I really want to speak on stage, but that's a big obstacle for me. So if you started speaking into, if you did a webinar or a book or a ebook or just blog article or videos or whatever on how to get stage gigs, even when you're feeling homely or dumpy, or even if you're 10 pounds overweight or
Yeah,
whatever, those are the kinds of things that if that was your ideal client would
yeah.
get their attention and get them to perk up and listen to you. So that's an example of an ideal topic. So you're not talking about your service necessarily to initially get their
Yeah.
attention. You're talking about the problem where they feel stuck. And that's going to get there. So that's the kind of content, what I call magnetic topics, that you want to create that
I like that.
will get your ideal client's attention. And
Yes.
then, of course, you can bring them on the journey to say, hey, even if you feel dumpy when you find your unique style, you won't feel dumpy. I don't care what your weight is or your height or whatever is making your physical thing that's making you feel not good enough.
Well, you're speaking my language because you see, we have been so caught up in this balloon women about style and dress, and it has nothing to do with size, beauty, weight, height, race. Beauty is in every size, every weight, every. So your analogy is really, really, really good. How do you get to the number one way for people? I know it is contingent upon the person you're working with. What's the number one easy way for someone to stand out? I think you alluded to a wee bit right there, to stand out and be seen as an authority and a influencer.
Well,
how do you connect with them in that way?
Yeah, well, first is to come up with your magnetic topics.
Ah.
That connects. So to get somebody to follow you and want to pay you money to better their life, you first want to connect with them, and you connect with them when you, in essence, read their mind.
Yes.
And with the topics that you're creating about, like the example I gave.
Yeah.
And then want to bring them on a journey. I call it a mindset shift. And all of this, Joy, positions you as an authority, because if you can read my mind in my world, you're automatically an expert.
And that ties in, Barbara, with what you gave me, and you're right up here. It says you want your clients to not go about chasing their clients. You want the clients to come to them because they have that magnetic title and the way of relating and conversing with them.
So ultimately, yeah. So ultimately, you can, and many people do, apply the door-to-door, old paradigm of marketing to online. And you see that, going into Facebook groups and commenting on people, or, there's strategies where you through LinkedIn, you figure out who your ideal clients are and you message them and message them. There are certainly those tactics, and Joy, there's nothing wrong with those, right?
Yes, yes.
That's totally fine. It wasn't my deal. I didn't want to do that. I didn't feel comfortable doing that. And I knew that there was a way that I could just relax and be me, but speak the language of my clients. And so that's what I've developed, is this methodology for attracting clients, which is also much easier, by the way, to automate.
Oh, absolutely.
To automate. So when you just create magnetic topics and focus on getting them in front of people and have a way to generate leads, in other words, the ideal client leads that are perfect for you, and know what to say to them to actually get them to go, oh, what? And listen to you and follow you. That is something that can be automated. And it's also, and positions you as an expert. And now you're sitting back attracting people instead of hunting them down.
Exactly. And it's more coaching in line with what their needs are. Now, you work with both men and women, right?
I do.
And what would you say would be the number one highlight or pivotal process or point or information that you share with your clients that just gets them spiraling to where they need to go?
I can say unequivocally that probably the biggest impact I help my clients make is to build a list of ideal clients. And I do that. I have a course called Instant Tribe where I teach them my methodology, my system for attracting clients, because in reality, attracting clients is really a three-part process. So a lot of people don't realize that, but you need to attract leads, you need to nurture them or build a relationship with them, and then convert them. So what you need is a method for generating leads, which is what I teach in Instant Tribe. And then now you have these hundreds, sometimes thousands of leads, and you're building a relationship with them. And you want to be able to position yourself as an authority in front of them, which is what my system does. And then some of them, once you have a list or a following of these ideal clients, then it's like planting a bunch of tomato plants, right? If you want to have tomatoes every day, you don't want to plant just one plant, because one tomato will become ripe, and then it could be weeks before the next one becomes ripe. So if our clients are tomatoes and you want them every day, you want to have a list and always be growing your list so that you're all constantly nurturing your list, and there will always be people who are ripe and ready for your services at your avail.
Barbara, I love the work you're doing. I think you're just absolutely top of the notch when it comes to delivering your message to the people that you're working with. I know that just from the promotion that you did and the people who came to say how much they adore you. And I know that you love your work. And I guess it was about maybe 3 years ago that I got a glimpse into you and then segue to something else. But I just think that what you're doing is phenomenal. Now, you gave us a little bit about how you came to this, but all of this insight, this awareness of knowing how to do this, that was a process coming to you, right? It took you a while to get to know how to deliver this and all of that. And when you said you spent tons of money and you got this, I think a lot of people, especially now, Barbara, because so many of us are working online, doing everything online, and because of this virus that's out here, this quarantine, let up some places, and more and more people will be working online, and they need to know and hear your message and mine. So that's why I wanted really to connect with you, because I think there's a meeting of the minds there, and the work that you're doing is really my word of late. I get words every now and then. I run them into the ditches. Stupendous. I really think that what you're doing is phenomenal. Really great. What's the biggest, I think you spoke to it, but what's the biggest reward that you get from the work that you're doing? I can tell it fills you up, but what really gets you like and puts you on a cloud?
I'm so glad. That's a great question, Joy. You know, the thing that lights me up the most is when my clients, it's not even when they get clients. I love that. That lights me up incredibly. But when they start getting results for their clients and their clients are just in love with them and giving them glowing testimonials and glowing reviews. So it's like, the two steps that when they get clients are just like, yes, thank you, universe. And then I know that once they do that, when they start really transforming the lives of their clients, I'm like, wow, I am superwoman.
You should feel, because I can't remember. I'm going to write this quote down, but somebody said, I think it was Zig Ziglar, that the best way to any type of success is helping other people to get to their success. And you explained it and said it in other verbiage, but it's the same mindset. It's the same bottom line. And that's what it's all about. Well, I have to applaud you, because you said, I'm coming in if they can get this internet back up, and you did. I was thinking I'm going to have to say so long for now and then do that. But there was so much I wanted to do and share with you, but I think we hit the nugget for what needs to be conveyed here. Are there any parting words or anything that you want to say before we say so long for now to the audience? By the way, I have your email. Do you have a website?
Because I do. How about and I would love to send people to it. But I think what might benefit people even more, I have a little ebook that I mentioned, lead generation, and this little pamphlet that I have really goes into the various ways to generate leads. And I would love to give that to your audience if that's okay with you.
Oh, sure. What we'll do is this. Here's your Barb at the thrivingchangemaker.com email. And those who are interested, or after this is over, I'll put in the comments, if you're interested in her little ebook, which I'm sure they will be, those who come for the replay, then they can do that. And we'll take it from there. But I just had your name and your email, and that was it. And I didn't get the website because, we had issues with my website. Yes.
I can tell it is super simple. It's, if that's okay with you.
Yes. Sure. Sure. You can put it in the comments, and then they will get it after, when you go back and you look at this.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't, do you mind if I just mention it while we're online?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's because pretty easy to remember. It's just Big List Fast, biglistfast.com. So it's really pretty easy to remember.
I like that. It is easy. It is easy. And that's great. Well, are there any last words or parting words that you'd like to say before we say so long for now? And thank you for your consistent, persistent, I'm doing it and I'm going there, because one never knows. And I'm not a techie, but I'm getting there and I love this stuff. So I applaud you again, because you came on and we did what we had to do. And I have a lot in the hopper that I want to share with you down the road here. But for now, the whole intention, Barbara, is to have people connect. To have women connect with other women and build your tribe and your circle and have it keep extending outward, because none of us do anything alone. So that being the case, I hope that you'll get some connections from this. but what would you like to leave us with? Your parting words, and I'll ask you to step into the green room and I'll say so long to the audience.
Sounds great, Joy. Thank you for this opportunity to reach your audience and share with mine. And, I just want you, Joy, and everybody listening or watching this call to know, just stop for a second and really feel into how important you are and how loved you are. And I just want you to know that love is calling you forth.
I love that. I knew we were on the same wavelength, on the same page. Different, maybe books, maybe different levels or pages in the book, but the same book. Thank you, Barbara. That was great. What I'm going to do now is ask you to step into the green room. I like to say that the staging room, and I'm going to say so long to the audience, and then I'll be back to say hi to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Great. Thank you, Joy.
All righty. Don't you love it? Listen, the whole intent here is that you connect with these leading ladies that I bring to you. They all come with different scenarios, but the bottom line is to support, aid, and assist you and guide you on your path to your journey and your purpose, no matter what level you're at. So you send a friend request, you get the ebook, you do whatever you have to do to make the connection. If not now, down the road, if not now for you, for someone else that you know. That's the whole intent. And may I say to you that I started off saying this, and I'll say it again, and I said it to Barbara during this time that we were together. It is our time, meaning for women. It's our time to step up, to rise, and to take the front seat and do what we have to do to connect and unite with other women and to lead heart-centered leadership. That's what this Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies is all about. You can pop in the word style and you'll get my complimentary booklet, How You Can Discover Your Signature Style and Stamp. That's the beginning to what we can do together. And what Barbara said, for those who are thinking about being speakers and those who feel this, that, or the other, that's my lane. And that's where I travel and travel successfully, because I know and I can share and will share many stories with you about how I've come to be the signature style specialist. And I love the professional speaking part of it as well. So wherever you are during this crisis, be well, stay safe, wear that mask. You never know. And hopefully a cure will be found soon. And until then, let's do all that we have to do to stay safe and to make sure that all of those around us are safe as well, because we're doing what we have to do. Until we connect next week, same time, you never know. It's always a saga here, but a good one. Enjoy the week. Enjoy the weekend. It's a holiday weekend. So all the best to you and your loved ones. I'll see you soon, next time around. Until then, be and stay well. All the best. So long for now. Cheers.